Welcome to FinStecks from Laura and Anthony.
Hi, everyone.
Today we're looking at something really interesting. The potential comeback of simpler fitness trackers.
Yeah.
You know, the band style one.
Yeah, like the kind that were really popular maybe 10 years back, those early Fitbits and things.
Exactly. Now, obviously, smartwatches dominate everything, right? The smart rings are popping up too. But some reports are suggesting we might actually see a big return to these, well, more focused trackers in 2025.
It's a fascinating idea, especially when you think about how packed with features wearables are now.
Totally. So our goal today is basically to unpack the why this prediction, and what could it mean for wearables going forward.
Right. And when you dig into it, there are some pretty compelling reasons why this resurgence might actually happen. Should we start with battery life?
Yes, let's do that, because it's almost like the most obvious advantage, isn't it?
It really is. These simpler bands, they aren't running these complex operating systems like watchOS or Wear OS.
Which just eat power.
Exactly. Those systems need a lot of juice for all the apps and the fancy displays. The simpler trackers just sip power in comparison.
And the difference is huge. Like an Apple Watch Series 10, you're looking at maybe 18 hours, right?
Right on that, yeah. Maybe a full day if you're careful.
But then you look at something like a Fitbit Inspire 3.
A whole week.
A week. Or even like the Xiaomi Mi Band 9.
That one can push towards, what, 21 days? 3 weeks?
It's kind of incredible. And that has real implications, doesn't it, for actual tracking?
Oh, absolutely. If you actually want to track your sleep properly night after night.
You can't be charging it every single day
Yeah.
or forgetting to.
Right. You need that continuous data. Day, night, all the time. It feeds into understanding your recovery, your readiness. All those metrics rely on consistent tracking. Not having to charge constantly is a massive practical advantage.
Definitely removes a barrier for people. So, okay, battery life is huge. What's next? Cost seems like a big one, too.
It is. It's undeniable, really. These trackers are just fundamentally simpler devices.
No third-party app stores, usually simpler screens.
Fewer communication bits, like no speaker or complex mics usually. All that adds up.
Or rather, it subtracts from the price tag significantly.
Precisely. And that really resonates right now, with the general economic climate. People are definitely more price conscious.
Yeah, you see that across a lot of tech categories. Value is key.
And manufacturers are responding. Look at Samsung. They brought out the Galaxy Watch FE, a more affordable smartwatch option. And they also have the Galaxy Fit 3 band, which is, very budget friendly. It shows they see a market there.
Right, catering to different budgets. Okay, so battery, cost. What about how you actually wear them? I remember some of the new ones are quite flexible.
That's another interesting angle. Many of them, like the Inspire 3 you mentioned, or the Fitbit Luxe, the Xiaomi band, the actual tracker unit can pop out of the wristband.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, quite easily. Which kind of harks back to the original Fitbit idea, the little clip-on pedometer.
Ah, right, so you could clip it somewhere else.
Exactly. Maybe you love your traditional analog watch, but still want to track steps. You can clip the tracker to your pocket or waistband.
Or for sports, where you can't wear something on your wrist, like climbing or boxing maybe.
Perfect examples. And it gets even more specific that Xiaomi Band 9, you can apparently clip it onto your running shoe.
Onto your shoe.
To get more detailed running metrics. Cadence, ground contact time, that sort of thing. Things you can't get as accurately from the wrist. So real flexibility there.
Okay, that's clever.
Yeah.
But are these things actually any good now? I mean, beyond battery life. I remember the old ones had tiny, basic screens.
Oh, they've come a long way. Those little black and white, hard-to-read displays, mostly gone.
Yeah.
Now you often get really nice, bright, full-color AMOLED screens, even on relatively inexpensive models. Much better user experience.
And the sensors, are they more accurate?
Definitely. Sensor tech has improved massively across the board. Heart rate monitoring, step counting, it's much more reliable now. Plus, the software processing that data has gotten smarter, too. Companies like Huawei, for example, put a lot into their TrueSense algorithms to improve accuracy from the wrist.
Okay. What about other features like GPS? Is that still just for expensive watches?
Not anymore, not entirely. We're seeing GPS showing up in trackers around the, say, $100 mark now, like the Fitbit Charge 6 or the Amazfit Active 2.
Right, so you can track runs or walks without your phone.
Exactly. And even the build quality is often better. You're seeing more premium materials like aluminum on some of the slightly higher-end simple trackers, so they feel less plasticky, more durable.
So they're not just basic step counters anymore. They're actually pretty capable devices in their own right.
They really are, closing the gap in many ways while keeping those core advantages.
Okay, one last point then, comfort. especially for sleep tracking, which we mentioned earlier.
Yeah, this is a big one too. Because they are simpler, they're generally much slimmer and lighter than a typical smartwatch.
Mostly plastic and silicone, I guess.
Often, yes. Which just makes them less noticeable on your wrist, particularly when you're trying to sleep.
Compared to like wearing a big, chunky smartwatch overnight.
Exactly. I mean, maybe a smart ring is the most unobtrusive option for sleep.
True.
But for people who find even a standard smartwatch, let alone something like an Apple Watch Ultra, too bulky for sleep, these slim bands offer a really good compromise.
They're comfortable enough to wear 247, basically.
That seems to be the goal, yeah. Comfort, plus that long battery life, makes round-the-clock wear feasible.
Okay, so let's sort of pull this all together.
Yeah.
It sounds like this predicted comeback isn't based on just one thing.
No, it's a combination.
You've got the much longer battery life, which is huge.
Yep.
The lower cost, which is appealing in the current climate.
Right.
The flexibility in how you can wear them, not just on the wrist, the fact that the specs, the screens, the sensors, GPS, they've actually gotten really quite good now.
Big improvements there.
And finally, just being more comfortable, especially for wearing them all the time, including overnight for sleep tracking.
Exactly. It's a whole package.
It really makes you wonder if maybe the push for do-everything devices is hitting a bit of a wall for some people.
It's an interesting thought, isn't it? Perhaps we're seeing a trend where people are getting more specific about what they actually need from a wearable. Maybe they don't need a tiny computer on their wrist.
Maybe they just want really good fitness and health tracking, reliably, without the fuss or the price tag.
Could be. Maybe focusing on doing the core things really well, like battery and comfort, is becoming more important again. It'll be fascinating to watch if this trend plays out in 2025.
It really will. Okay, that's all we have time for today.
Thanks for listening.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.